What's up, y'all? It's Carla, aka Sila the Poet, and this is Things That Make Me Angry Part 2. So, it is Thursday, and it is one day until Friday, and Friday is pre weekend. So, let me talk some more about the things that make me angry, the things that enrage me, the things that are just not cool. So, I don't like disrespect. I don't think anybody likes disrespect. You know, just people not treating you properly, people calling you out your name, people, trying to put their hands on you because they angry. People just being out of pocket, and just kind of like breaching your boundaries, and just trying to get underneath your skin. There are people that do stuff like that, and it's not cool. I don't think that anybody likes disrespect. And if they do, it's usually because they're traumatized, because they were socialized to accept it. But it's not healthy, and it doesn't do any good for anybody. I hate injustice. You know, um, I think about the information that was released with the Epstein files. I think about the victims, that went through what they went through. I think about the fact that men who are in high ranking positions were involved in that disgusting stuff, that debauchery, and they still have governmental seats. They still retain their power, and they are being protected instead of being thrown in jail. They should be wearing an orange jumpsuit, to be fair, because what happened in those files are crimes. What happened in those files are, it's just horrific. When I hear about hate crimes, when I hear about young men and young women being found lynched, when I hear about black truck drivers talking about how they go to certain all-white vicinities and they can't be there after sundown. There's still sundown towns here in the U.S. Just the injustices. Just thinking about how feminism is treated as a scapegoat. I hate that. I know as a woman why women had to fight for their rights, to have to fight to be treated with dignity and respect, instead of being somebody's property, being able to be raped and, being able to be disrespected or treated as less than because you're property or because you don't have any autonomy. That is the reason why women had to fight for their rights. And I hate when people try to use feminism as an excuse for why society, has a lot of detrimental things going on. When I think I think it more has to do with patriarchy and toxic masculinity. That's what I think it has to do with. I think it has to do with, human nature, greed, corruption, things like that are the reasons why society is going downhill. It's so dumb when people try to scapegoat a movement or try to scapegoat, something that they usually don't even have any complete understanding of. People that I've spoken to, they make these generalizations, and people go off of generalizations instead of actually looking up information and having themselves truly informed about what the facts are. Fact finding is not practiced by a lot of people. And people need to go back to doing that. Looking for the facts as opposed to feelings all the time. No. Sometimes We need to go by facts. We need to go by logic. Okay? Because people perish for lack of knowledge, according to the good book. And, the more we know, the more power and awareness that we have. Okay? The things that make me angry. In my other video, I spoke about Red Pill Rick and the Manosphere. Things that piss me off when people try to take your voice away because they don't like the truth that's coming out of your mouth. Sometimes people are not ready to hear the truth because it destroys their illusions, or they want to continue to believe the lie. But the truth is the truth, no matter what illusion or lie you want to believe. And so it irks me. It irks my soul when people do stuff like that. The thing is that everybody, there's freedom of speech. And as long as you're not saying something that is like a threat, like threatening people or stuff like that, but what you're saying is an actual fact, and people try to cancel you or, try to like tear you down because or shoot the messenger per se, yeah, that type of stuff pisses me off, because the truth is going to be the truth no matter what. Okay? The sky is still blue. Okay? The sun comes up in the morning. The moon comes out at night. The wolf howls. The clouds, rain comes down. There are certain truths that we can't deny. But people still try to do that though. Okay? So these are just some other things that are upsetting. Just living in a society, that's racist, and everything is around racial lines, from where we live to the people that we usually hang around, to the politics, to the laws here, to the way that people are treated. Like, it's just a major rabbit hole. Okay, so that's just part 2 of some of the things that make me angry. And that's all I'm going to say for now. Everybody keep your head up. We got one more day before it's Friday, and it's pre-weekend. All right? Peace.